I wished to be popular. Now I'm the queen bee of my school. The first time I wished for popularity, I didn't think it would come at the cost of my identity. But here I was, standing in front of the mirror, staring at the unfamiliar yet stunning girl staring back at me. My name is Jason, just your average high school senior, the kind that blends into the background. Not a loser, not a standout. Just there. I had decent grades, a couple of friends, and a girlfriend, Emma, who was way out of my league. She was everything I wasn't, confident, popular, the type of girl who could make an entire room light up just by walking in. Being with her felt like a dream, like I had somehow cheated the system and landed a life I wasn't supposed to have. But even with Emma by my side, I wasn't important. I wasn't seen. People knew me as Emma's boyfriend, not as Jason. And that gnawed at me more than I wanted to admit. The setting of my life was as uninspiring as my presence in school, just a normal suburban neighborhood where nothing ever happened. My house was a standard 2-story, filled with the echoes of my parents' distant marriage. They weren't bad people, just too busy with their own lives to pay much attention to mine. Which, to be honest, worked in my favor. It allowed me to explore a part of myself I wasn't ready to admit to anyone. I wouldn't call myself a crossdresser, at least not in the way people might assume. I wasn't sure if it was a passion or something deeper, but every time I saw Emma put on her makeup, pick out the perfect outfit, or brush her long, wavy hair, something inside me stirred. It wasn't just admiration, it was envy. I wanted to know what it felt like to be beautiful, to be someone people noticed. It started small, stealing moments when Emma left her things at my place. A little lip gloss here, a quick brush of mascara there. Harmless curiosity, I told myself. Just an experiment. But it didn't stop there. One day, Emma had left one of her outfits in my room, a short pleated skirt and a fitted top. I don't know what possessed me to try it on, but the second I did, something inside me clicked. Looking at myself in the mirror, I wasn't just Jason anymore. I was someone else, someone striking, someone who could turn heads. And for the first time in my life, I felt like I existed. But there was also fear. Fear that Emma would find out. Fear that someone, anyone, would discover the secret and tear my life apart. Emma wasn't cruel, but she had opinions, strong ones. She liked people who knew who they were, who didn't waver. She loved the idea of being with someone steady, reliable. What would she think if she knew her boyfriend sometimes imagined being one of the girls she ruled the school with? And so I kept it hidden. I would wait until I was completely alone, then slowly build up the courage to transform. At first, it was just clothes, then makeup, then wigs. With every step, I refined the girl in the mirror, shaping her into someone who mattered, someone who could be popular. But she wasn't real. She was a fantasy, a mask I could only wear in secret, until one day, a single wish would change everything. I never thought a simple wish could rewrite my entire existence. It happened on a night like any other. I was alone in my bedroom, the dull hum of my ceiling fan filling the silence. My laptop sat open, a half-finished history paper staring back at me, but my mind was anywhere but schoolwork. Emma had sent a group chat message about an upcoming party at Kylie Spencer's house, one of those exclusive, invite-only events where only the most popular kids went. I wasn't invited. Of course, Emma would be there. She always was. And once again, I'd just be her shadow, the boyfriend no one really cared about. I sighed, staring at the mirror across my room. The urge was creeping in again, that undeniable pull toward the version of myself that only existed in secret. I glanced at my closet, where I had stashed a collection of hidden treasures over time. Skirts, tops, dresses, makeup Emma had forgotten at my place. No one would be home for hours. I had time. As I stood up, my pulse quickened. The thrill of transformation was as intoxicating as it was terrifying. I crossed the room, my fingers tracing the edge of the hidden shoebox under my bed. Slowly, I pulled it out, flipping open the lid to reveal my growing collection. I ran my hands over the soft fabric of a dress I had borrowed from Emma months ago, something she had left at my place and forgotten about. It was a pastel pink skater dress, fitted at the waist with a flared skirt. Feminine, cute, everything I wasn't. But tonight I wanted to be. I peeled off my usual hoodie and jeans, my body humming with anticipation. As I slipped the dress over my head, the fabric slid down my torso, hugging me in places that felt both foreign and familiar. My reflection in the mirror was still halfway Jason, but I was getting closer. Next was makeup. I sat at my desk, flipping open Emma's old makeup bag. Over time, I had taught myself the basics: foundation to smooth my skin, a touch of blush for warmth, eyeliner to sharpen my gaze. The first time I had tried it, I had been a mess, smudging everything in my rush. But now it felt natural. As I applied mascara, my heartbeat pounded in my ears. I wasn't just playing dress-up anymore. This was something more. Something real. I reached for the finishing touch, a honey blonde wig I had purchased online, tucked away in the depths of my closet. With careful precision, I placed it on my head, adjusting the strands until they framed my face perfectly. And then I looked up. She stared back at me, the girl I had only met in stolen moments. A girl who could be someone. Excitement and fear tangled inside me, tightening around my throat. What if someone saw me? What if Emma found out? I stood up, the skirt swaying with my movement, and took a hesitant step forward. The feeling of the dress against my skin, the way the makeup softened my features, it was exhilarating. Like I had finally stepped into the version of myself I had been suppressing for years. But then, a car door slammed outside. My stomach dropped. I rushed to the window, peeking through the blinds. Emma's car was in the driveway. She wasn't supposed to be here. Panic surged through me as I scrambled back toward my desk, fumbling with the makeup wipes. I clawed at the wig, yanking it off, but it caught on my hair, tugging painfully. My hands were shaking too much to get the dress's zipper undone. Footsteps on the porch. I yanked open my closet door, tossing the wig inside, shoving the makeup bag onto the shelf. But the dress, there was no time. The front door opened. My heartbeat roared in my ears as I grabbed my hoodie, throwing it over the dress, just as Emma's voice called out, "Jason, you home?" I swallowed hard, forcing my voice to stay steady. "Yeah, upstairs." Her footsteps climbed the stairs, each one making my pulse spike. I turned to the mirror one last time. The hoodie concealed most of it, but the hem of the dress peeked out beneath the fabric. My lips were still tinted from the lipstick, my eyes slightly lined with leftover makeup. Not enough time to fix it. The door swung open. Emma stood there, her sharp blue eyes scanning the room. "Hey, I thought you were busy with homework." I nodded stiffly, hoping she wouldn't notice how rigid I was. "Yeah, just taking a break." Her gaze flickered over me, lingering for half a second too long. "What's up?" I asked, trying to sound normal. She frowned. "Are you okay? You look kinda..." Her eyes narrowed slightly. "Why do your lashes look different?" My stomach lurched. Think. I let out a nervous laugh. "Must be the lighting." She didn't look convinced. My hands clenched into fists beneath the hoodie. If she noticed the dress, if she pressed just a little harder, everything would come crashing down. I held my breath, waiting. And then, just as quickly as the moment had frozen, she shrugged. "Whatever. I left my phone charger here. Have you seen it?" Relief crashed over me, so hard I almost swayed. Yeah. It's on my desk." She walked past me, reaching for it. I stayed perfectly still, praying she wouldn't glance down. Then, just as she picked up the charger, her head tilted. Her eyes flickered toward the closet, where the wig was barely visible, peeking out from the slightly open door. I saw her expression change. A beat of silence. Then, slowly she straightened. "Jason," she said, her voice quieter now. "What's in your closet?" My blood ran cold. Emma's question hung in the air like a blade poised to strike. "Jason, what's in your closet?" My throat tightened, my body frozen. She had seen the wig. She knew. I had two choices, lie or tell the truth. But my mouth refused to form words. Emma took a step closer, her eyes sharp with curiosity. I saw the moment's suspicion turned into realization. "Wait," her voice softened, but it only made my chest tighten more. "Are you hiding something?" I forced a laugh, my hands clutching the edges of my hoodie, trying to keep the dress underneath hidden. "No, Before I could stop her, she reached for the closet door. My stomach dropped. She pulled it open. Time seemed to slow as Emma's gaze swept over the contents. Clothes that shouldn't belong to me, makeup bags stacked neatly on the shelf, and worst of all, the wig sitting there like a damning piece of evidence. She turned back to me, her blue eyes wide, unblinking. "Jason, what is this?" A million explanations ran through my head. A prank, a misunderstanding, anything that would let me escape this moment. But the weight of the truth was crushing, and for the first time in my life, I had nowhere to run. Emma's gaze flickered downward, and suddenly her expression changed completely. Her hand shot out, yanking up the hem of my hoodie before I could react. The pastel pink dress was exposed. A sharp inhale from Emma. A strangled sound from me. The room spun. I staggered back, instinctively grabbing at the hoodie, trying to pull it down, but it was too late. She had seen everything. The silence between us was unbearable. "Jason," her voice was almost a whisper now. "What the hell is going on?" I swallowed hard, my mind racing. The humiliation was suffocating, wrapping around my throat like a noose. I can explain," I stammered, but I didn't even know where to start. Emma's face twisted in confusion, her gaze darting between the dress, the wig, and my flushed, panicked expression. Then something unreadable flickered in her eyes. "Is this something you do?" The way she said it, like she was trying to piece together something impossible, made my stomach churn. My instinct screamed to deny everything, to say it was a joke, a mistake. But a part of me, deeper than fear, was tired of lying. I clenched my fists, forcing myself to meet her gaze. "Yes," I admitted, my voice barely above a whisper. "Sometimes." Emma's lips parted slightly, as if she wanted to say something but didn't know how. The silence stretched, each second more unbearable than the last. Then, a knock at the door. Both of us jumped. My heart stopped. Emma turned toward the sound. "Who?" Another knock, this time louder. "Jason." A voice called from outside. "It's Kylie. Open up." "Kylie Spencer?" My blood ran cold. Why was she here? Emma shot me a look, still processing everything she had just seen, but now there was something new in her eyes, panic. I felt like I was suffocating. If Kylie saw me like this, if anyone else found out, I'd be ruined. I looked down at myself, still in the dress, makeup still smudged around my eyes. There was no time to change. Another knock, this time impatient. "Jason, I know you're home. Open up." Emma turned back to me, her face shifting from shock to something else entirely, determination. She grabbed my wrist, yanking me toward the bathroom. "Go. Now. Lock the door and don't make a sound." I didn't argue. I practically flew into the bathroom, slamming the door behind me just as I heard Emma's footsteps toward the front. I pressed my ear against the door, my breath shallow. A beat of silence, then the sound of the front door creaking open. "Hey!" Emma's voice, casual but tight. "Kylie!" "Oh my God, finally!" Kylie huffed. "Took you long enough." I was about to leave. "Where's Jason?" Emma hesitated. Busy." "What do you need?" "Just came to invite him to the party. You know he made the list, right?" My breath hitched. "I made the list." Emma's voice sounded forced. "Yeah, he's not here right now." Silence. Then Kylie's voice, teasing, "You sure? I could have sworn I saw someone moving in his window just a second ago." My blood turned to ice. Emma laughed, but there was an edge to it. "Maybe you're seeing things." Another pause. Then Kylie's voice dropped to a conspiratorial whisper. "Is something going on?" I bit my lip, so hard it almost bled. Emma hesitated for a fraction of a second before answering, her tone cool. "No, but I'll tell Jason you stopped by." Another pause. My whole body was tense, waiting for the next move. Then Kylie sighed. "All right, whatever. Just tell him not to be a loser and show up." I heard the shuffle of feet, then the door closing. Silence. I barely realized I was holding my breath until I nearly choked on it. Then, Emma's voice, soft but sharp. "You can come out now." Slowly, I cracked open the bathroom door. Emma stood there, arms crossed, staring at me with an expression I couldn't quite read. For a long moment, neither of us spoke. Then she let out a slow breath. "Okay, we need to talk." I swallowed hard, stepping forward. "Emma, Just give me a second," she interrupted, pinching the bridge of her nose. "This is a lot." I nodded, my hands gripping the hem of the dress, suddenly hyper-aware of how vulnerable I looked. Emma sighed. So you like dressing up? I hesitated. I don't know. Maybe. It's not just that. I struggled for the words. It's like, when I do it, I feel real. Emma studied me for a long moment. Then, to my surprise, her lips twitched, almost like she wanted to smile but wasn't sure if she should. You do look kinda cute, she admitted. A sharp, disbelieving laugh escaped me. What? She shrugged, eyeing me up and down. It's weird. Yeah, but I've seen worse. My heart was pounding for a completely different reason now. So, you're not freaking out? Oh, I am freaking out, she corrected. But I'm also thinking. About what? She smirked. Kylie just said you're on the invite list. I blinked. Yeah. Emma tilted her head, studying me. And you just said this. She gestured at me. Makes you feel real. Yeah. I repeated, slower this time. She crossed her arms, tapping her foot. So what if you went to the party? My breath caught in my throat. Like this? Emma's smirk deepened. Why not? My heart stopped. Emma, that's crazy. She cut me off. You want to be seen, don't you? I swallowed hard. She wasn't wrong. The girl in the mirror, the one I had only ever known in secret, could be real. Could be someone. And just like that, the fear inside me twisted into something new. Excitement. My heart pounded as I stared at Emma, my breath shallow. You're serious? I asked, my voice barely above a whisper. Emma leaned in, a slow smile creeping across her lips. I am. She reached for the wig on my shelf, holding it up between us. If you're going to the party, you need to go all in. I swallowed hard, my stomach twisting in knots. Emma, what if someone recognizes me? Her grin widened. Then I guess you'll just have to be convincing, won't you? I glanced at the mirror again. The girl staring back at me wasn't just some secret. She existed. But was I ready to be her? Emma must have seen the hesitation on my face because she stepped closer, lowering her voice. Jason, or should I say Jessica? I shivered. The name sent a jolt through me, thrilling and terrifying all at once. A knock at the door made me jump. Emma's eyes flicked to me, then back to the door. Are you expecting someone? I whispered. She shook her head. Another knock, harder this time. Jason, I know you're in there. My blood turned to ice. That voice. Kylie. Emma and I locked eyes. What do we do? I whispered. Emma hesitated for only a second before she whispered back. We open the door. To be continued. Fire, what happens next? Will Jason/Jessica be exposed? Drop your predictions in the comments. Fire.